Hello, what's up? DTM here. This is a milestone for me. I've done several 7-day fasts, but this is number 8 for me. I always broke it at the evening of the 7th day due to the EBGBs. And I did get the EBGBs last night, but they weren't as bad as they were before, and I think the reason why is because a lot of preparatory work for this fast. I did for about a month before I came here, I did just juices. I did like coconut and E3 Live, and I did orange juice basically, and then I'd have like one small either salad meal at night with no fat and no salt, or a fruit meal at night. So I just spent like I spent about 2 months on a very low fat, low salt diet, and the only reason I did any fat or salt was because of the stress. Those are kind of my stress foods, and there's physiological reasons for that. Some people crave sweets, some people crave fats, some people crave salts. It depends on the nature of your glands and whatnot. One of the signs of an adrenal weakness is the desire for salt. So this is day number 8 of a water fast. Everything's really smooth. Last night was kind of the roughest. I tossed and turned till about 1 or 2 in the morning. But the thing is about fasting, and what you'll learn is that during those periods where you're not feeling well and you're feeling kind of, it's just like the EBGBs is a good way to say it. Just generalized discomfort. It's not a suffering. It's just like a discontent. And that is generally when the body is cleansing itself and there are toxins in the blood being processed. And I know that last night was a nice cleansing reaction because, number 1, I feel much better today. My head feels much clearer. That's the number 1 reason why I came into this water fast, was I've had some type of congestion in my head for as long as I can remember. And it's it was a dull pain in my head for many, many years, and it has definitely been obstructing my potential. And so that's the number 1 reason why I'm here. And the joints are the secondary, healing up a lifetime of what happens is when you overeat or you eat the wrong types of foods, the body loves to store excess waste matter between the joints. And so that's what arthritis is. So if you want to get rid of arthritis, go on a raw food diet for 3 to 6 months and then do a water fast. You can potentially get rid of arthritis within 2 to 3 weeks on a water fast. So this morning, the reason why I know that last night was a cleansing reaction was because I could feel it. What happens is you can feel the pain. As the body's cleansing itself, there's a tugging and a pulling. Like if your joints are detoxing and the body's working on that at this particular time, you'll feel it. You'll feel kind of achy. And last night my head felt really achy. When I woke up this morning, I went to the sink and I spit up this glob of orange stuff. So it was like nice. Like not the normal color of mucus at all, like very orange. There's no other way to describe it. Not like fluorescent orange, but like just orange, man. Not like green or brown or yellow mucus, but orange. So a nice little glob. So that came straight out of my head. My head feels much better today. And my joints are feeling pretty good. You generally I've been losing about 2 pounds a day. So that's basically the normal. And I have had cotton mouth for the last few days. I drink plenty of water. I drink about 3 of these a day. I know that some people wish that I didn't use plastic. All of this gets recycled down there. They use their water in a machine. They take tap water and cleanse it and distill it, but it still tastes like dirt to me. So I've been drinking this because it tastes good and I feel like it hydrates, and then the guy that works here takes all these bottles and recycles them and pays his gas money. And then I write my little thing on here clarity of purpose, contentment, the peace of God, and I charge the water that way. I've been drinking about 3 of these a day. They suggest really only like 1 to 2 of those at most, but I've been really thirsty, and it doesn't seem to be helping the cottonmouth much. Even no matter how much water I drink, it doesn't seem to help the cottonmouth. So, thanks for all the positive feedback. You know, it's what's happening with the detox and the cleansing is very subtle. Now, I'm very in tune with my body, so I can feel it all happening. I'm going to hold on and keep going, because what you want to do, once you're in full ketosis like this, you just want to keep going as far as you can. You don't want to cause any stress. And one of the best ideas for people in a chronic or issues, like a headache for 15 years, is intermittent fasting. You know, you hit maybe, 10, 14, 21 days, and then you go back out and you eat fruits and drink green juices, and then you come back for another one. And it's obviously on YouTube there's going to be people that don't have any idea about fasting. They should comment after they've read all the books that I just showed you guys yesterday, and then they'll get it. They'll be like, oh, because once you read all the case studies about old ladies that were suffering for 40 years and had to run around with the medical establishment and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars dealing with, mucus or arthritis or anything, and they never get any help from the medical establishment, go to a fasting institute, and within anywhere from 20 days, 30 days, 32 days, 40 days, whatever, all their issues that they've dealt with for all those years get cleared out. And they thank and they love the fasting institute person, you know what I'm saying? And, it's really a last call, because nobody wants to go without eating. And hardly anyone understands the physiological nature of diseases, which is just encumbrances from 1, eating too much food, number 2, too much of the wrong kind of food, number 3, eating in the improper conditions, like under stress, okay? And all these things, they get you clogged up. And the only thing you can do to pay back your debt to nature is to stop eating for a time. Like the common cold would be cured up within, anywhere from 1 to 3 days of fasting. But no, what happens? People drink NyQuil, take drugs, antibiotics, shove it deeper back down into this organism. And then over all these years of doing the NyQuil, the drugs, the suppression of symptoms in the various forms, you've got all this tons and tons of metabolic waste trapped way deep down in the tissues. And then the only way to get it out is either some kind of extended fruit fast, an extended juice fast, and I'm talking about a long time, or, water fasting, which is the most rapid, not the easiest, not the most fun, no, but designed and ordained by God the Father and the nature called Mother, and they know exactly what they're doing. Every animal in nature fasts when sick or hurt, and mankind has lost his ability, and I hear it every day. I had a consultation with a gentleman this morning whose grandma's in the hospital with pneumonia, and guess what they're doing? Stuffing her full of antibiotics and feeding her milk products. So, who kills more people? I have heard, I'm not saying this myself, but I have heard from reliable sources that the medical establishment actually kills more people than disease. I don't know. I wouldn't say that myself, but I've just heard that from reliable sources. It's a pretty curious fact. So if you've got pneumonia, let's say, you don't want to drink milk. You don't want to take antibiotics. Sometimes antibiotics to save a life, but I think about 1% out of the 100% of antibiotics prescribed would be usable. Stabilize the system, then detoxify the body and get the antibiotics out and get the original waste matter out of the body. Pneumonia in the lungs, and then you feed dairy products. It's just so crazy. It's just nuts what we do. And that's why I have such a great job here, and why you guys all appreciate me so much, is because I'm bringing the most common sense thing that we should all understand, but it had to be suppressed for monetary purposes. And nobody wants to tell you that, oh, you're sick, stop eating, go lay down for anywhere from a week to 5 or 6 weeks. There's 90-day water fasts on record for people that are more, have more meat. I'm not going to be able to go that long because I'm a toothpick to begin with, you know what I mean? And I had already done 2 months of total detox before I got in here. That's why this fast has been so much easier this time. Other than a little bit of boredom, I mean, this has been effortless so far. And I'm really actually enjoying myself, learning to really enjoy the moment to moment, like looking for the treasure within each moment and just being here with myself and to continue onward. So, it's just very subtle stuff, but my body is cleaning itself out a little bit more every day. The urine shows it, very dark and smelly urine. My armpits have an odor, but it's not a bad odor. In fact, a couple days ago I smelled my armpits. It literally smelled like fruit. And then that mucus this morning popping out of there like that, that was like a gift from the universe, from the Holy God himself, because I felt like my brain's on a whole nother level now. But I'm going to keep going and get this thing fully done all the way to the best of my ability. They're going to monitor me and stuff. But so far, they're just really happy with the results, and so am I. So, like I said, educate on water fasting. There's not much to say. It's just sort of, the body knows what it's doing, and I'll explain it in the last minute here. When you stop eating, you don't start starving to death. Believe me, every single person that you know living in America or any industrialized nation has at least 10 days of reserves, even if you're very thin. In fact, thin people actually gain weight when they stop eating. Why? Because mommy stuffs baby full. Baby isn't hungry, but baby has to eat. Baby has to eat. Baby has to eat. So mom stuffs the baby, sweetens everything up, salts everything up, makes all these tantalizing dishes, and guess what? 3-year-old Johnny is not hungry. Why he's not hungry? Because there's no need for food. Because you've been stuffing Johnny every day for 3 years of his life. Now he's not hungry. And now you got to try to coax him to eat. But children are very much more intuitive. And then Johnny's not hungry for a few days, so don't feed him. But they're not used to that. They think if Johnny goes for a few hours without food, he's going to starve to death. Well, it's not the case. So what happens is we set our children up with eating disorders, and then we get sickness in our stomach from overeating. And then the minute we stop eating, we start digesting all that waste that's built up, and we feel like crap. So what do we need to do? Go eat another pizza, go eat another cheeseburger, stop the cleansing and the healing of the stomach and the GI tract, and then we feel better. So we think the pizza and the burger makes us feel better. But that's not the case. So when you learn about this health, you'll see that when you stop eating, okay, your body, over the course of 3 days, switches from burning sugars, and this is the condensed version, okay? The body switches over from burning sugars and begins to switch over into a process called ketosis, where the brain and the muscles run on fat, okay? The liver turns the fat into a usable source of fuel for the body, for the muscles and the brain, and the vital organs to continue on with life. And then in that process, what happens is the body breaks down the excess fat. And in that process, fat and the toxins that are stored within and around that fat are processed through the liver. The liver takes what it can and uses it. Any usable material the liver will utilize. Anything that is morbid and that is unrecognizable and is deemed a foreign matter within the organism is eliminated mostly through the urine and the feces. I have not taken a poop since I've been here, but I have taken a couple enemas. But I was so clean when I came in. My last meal was 2 watermelons and 5 Asian pears. and that came out like the next day. And I always focus on a clean colon for so many years now that I don't really anticipate too many more bowel movements. Maybe I'll do another enema or two. The hygienists frown upon the enemas. I do not. I highly advocate the use of enemas. I've seen the miracles of enemas and colonics with my own two eyes. But as the body uses up its stored tissues, now this goes way back in history, because we didn't always, mankind did not always have grocery stores to go to. So there were periods of time when there was a shortage of food and the body had to learn how to survive. So your body will use up all that's stored and it will burn it up for fuel, and then it'll detoxify itself. And so that's how the body rejuvenates and regenerates itself, is by eliminating all the junk that is obstructing the flow and the maximum potential of the cells in the body. So that's all this is a physiological rest and a detoxification of built up and stored waste matter. And I feel better than I've felt in a long time, and I anticipate to feel much better. And then when you go to eat again, digestion is improved, elimination is improved, assimilation is improved. And I was talking about the skinny people. They, like little Johnny, he gets so crammed up and stuffed up, his whole GI tract is clogged up. And so guess what? Some people eat 5,000 calories and digest, assimilate, utilize, and eliminate 5,000 calories. Some people have inhibited absorption and utilization. And that's why the whole calorie counting thing from the 80-10-10 group is okay for a healthy athlete who's utilizing everything, but it's not a healing modality, because you have to take into consideration, is this person utilizing what they're eating? So this skinny little person, everyone says, God, you're 102 pounds, Cindy, you really need to gain some weight. Cindy's like, I eat all damn day every day. I ate 8,000 calories yesterday, and I lost a pound, because her whole GI tract is clogged with mucus and she's not absorbing anything. This is what takes the life regenerator up to the next level, and that's why I respect my program more, because it's not a, you're not going to have me doing a little parrot thing up here. I will say fruits, vegetables, and love, but each individual case needs to be looked at, and we need to find out, what are you doing that's causing you to have a disease? And then we need to look at that and then eliminate it. Some people smoke. Some people don't do any drugs, any coffee, or anything, but they eat 90% fat in their diet. Some people just are stressed out and they eat a good healthy food, but they're always eating under stress. What is it that you're doing that's causing you to have ill health? We need to find out what that is. So we need to understand the context, and then an evolved healer will be able to help you with your particular case. So I hope that you learned something from this video. This is day number 8. It's a milestone for me. I've never made it this far. I feel good. I'm just going one day at a time. That's all I do. Just got to make it through today, brother. I'm going to go out now and get my daily sun. And I want to thank you for your positive comments, your thumbs up. I've already received some gifts today, so it's really great. Someone overnighted me some stuff, so that really makes me happy. I sure appreciate that. I will try to do my best to make videos. Fasting is a very private thing, but this is my job in my life, and if it's going to help you to improve your life, then I think I'll continue to vlog this fast, because I want to get this out there. Because water fasting, in the end of it all, regardless of what anyone says who's uneducated about it, is the final word in healing yourself of things that may have been plaguing you for a better part of your life. So study up on water fasting and prepare yourself for the day when you will be totally free through the process of detoxification with fruits, herbal juices, and water fasting. Thanks for subscribing. God bless you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.